afternoon. Are you in need of any assistance today, sir?
Alright, some of you may think I am as grumpy as that guy in the video, but not really. So let's, since you are in such need of assistance, let's take a look at the rational expressions. But in this case, we're going to go through and we're going to deal with some multiplying here. Alright, so we got multiplication and division. So now as I look through, I have to be able to see, is there something that I can simplify when looking at these fractions? First thing I like to do is I like to look within the fraction first. So like if I take a look at this 8 divided by 2, well, this simplifies to this becoming a 4. This is going to become a 1. Then if we look here, I've got the 12 and a 3. Well, 3 divides into 12 4 times. 3 is gone. I have a b up top here. I've got 3 in the bottom. So that means then what's left if I were to simplify this? Well, this one is gone. And then down here, I have b to the second. Alright, so now I just go through and simplify. So let's multiply across the top. I'm going to get 16. That's a 16. There we go. And divide that by b squared. So 16 divided by b squared. That one's done. Alright, come on over here. Now let's take a look, and I see that I've got an x and an x, so I can get rid of those. 19 and 14, nothing in common. 18 and 4, though, yes, I can divide each of them by 2, and I get a 9 here. I get a 2 here. 9 and 14, nothing. 2 and 19, nothing. So if I go through and now multiply, one of the easy ways to try to figure this one out is if this was a 20, 20 times 9 is 180. Well, I'm actually not at 20, I'm 1 away. So I subtract 9 of them. So then instead of 180, it's 171 divided by 28. Alright, so now let's take a look at another example. This one's a little more difficult. Nice thing is, though, if I look at this, I see that I've got a 6 here and a 6 here. I cannot cross out the r squareds and then deal with the 8 and the 12. I have to actually factor this first. So let's deal with factoring. So when we go through and factor this, first terms in each are going to be r. This tells me my signs are going to be opposite, so plus, minus. I need factors of 12 that differ by 1. Well, that would be 4 and 3, and then the positive one will be 4, because of the fact this is positive here. And then I'll put my 3. So that one's all set. Now I come down here and do the same thing. R, R. Alright, so I need opposite signs again, so plus, minus. This time I need, excuse me, factors of 8 that differ by 2. So that's going to be 4 and 2. Alright, so now that one's all set. Now let's take a look between these factors that we have, this set in the numerator, this set in the denominator. We have r plus 4 in common, so those are gone. I have nothing else that I can simplify, so I have an r minus 3 divided by r minus 2. Now in our directions, it doesn't say anything about, assume that the values in your denominators are going to be such that we won't get zeros. So if we look back then, here we know that b cannot be 0. And then as we look back to here, we know then that r cannot be, well, negative 4 from this part. And r cannot be 2 from that part. Alright, scroll down. Division. When we have division, it kind of changes things a little bit for us. Not by a lot, though. I'm going to write this one up here a little bit because there's not a lot of room when I set this up. So 1 divided by n minus 4. Division is nothing more than multiplying by the reciprocal. So then I'm going to have 7n plus 28 divided by 7. Anything in common that we have here, so I want to take a look. I've got 7n plus 28. I can take out a 7 from each of those. So I have 7 times n plus 4. And everything else is factored. So if I look at the 7's gone. N minus 4, n plus 4, there's nothing I can do with that. I have to actually leave that as n plus 4 divided by n minus 4. And then I'm done. So that's all that we have for that one. So these are just a few small examples of dealing with multiplying and dividing. the best advice that I can give you is to always make sure that we factor first. Okay, so you're going to want to go through and factor everything. So whether I'm looking at numbers here, or whether I'm looking at variables of b and b cubed, or if I look down here, again, I'm going to want to go through and I need to factor everything. Okay, so factor everything first, and then go through and simplify. All right, thank you, and hope this helped.